Hey, welcome to Planet Hex Review Time. I'm Andrew Hawnt. This is the mini episodes I put out a couple of times a week where I review something that I've discovered for the first time, or am revisiting, just to remind myself how good it is, or indeed bad. Now, I put out a full-length Planet Hex each weekend, where I cover things like VHS, music, pop culture, cult movies, all kinds of things. So do check that out. But these are the little review episodes. Tonight I'm talking about the first movie on this double box set, Romancing the Stone, starring Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito. It's a really good 80s adventure romp in every way. So this is a movie that covers the misadventures of Michael Douglas's character, who is a kind of a wayward adventurer off in distant lands, getting caught up with Kathleen Turner's character, a novelist on the trail of her missing sister. And Danny DeVito plays the comedy relief bad guy who is on the trail of a very valuable stone that is all wrapped up in the things that's going on with Michael and Kathleen's characters. This is a great movie that used to be shown at like the weekends, Christmas, that sort of thing back in the day. I don't think I ever really rented this one back in the VHS era, but it was one that I've seen several times. It fills its runtime really well. How long is it? I don't even remember how long the movie is. So it's 101 minutes, exactly 101 minutes, and it doesn't hang about. The chemistry between the main characters, between Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, their performances are superb. They have absolutely irresistible chemistry on screen, and it's just a joy to behold two people doing what they do really, really well. The script is nice and sprightly. It's full of twists and turns, bad guys, mob bosses, drug lords, drug barons, and some very Indiana Jones-esque action along the way, with like booby traps and all kinds of mishaps and scrapes along the way. Is it a classic? Yes, I would say this is definitely a classic, and I do maintain that this holds up really well even today. However, it is one of those films that does not work to a younger audience. So you may need to, if you're showing it to a younger audience, it is only a 12, this DVD. If you show it to a younger audience, you may have to just let them know that there weren't any mobile phones or internet at the time when this came out. So a lot of things that happen in this movie would have been easily rectified had anyone had access to a smartphone or indeed the internet. And it's an interesting thing that the further we get away from the pre-internet era, the stranger it seems in some ways. And I love my 80s and 90s movies, and even like early 2000s movies seem a bit dated now. If you go back to the 90s and look at something like Hackers and look at the computers they were using, it's quite an eye-opener how far we have come in such little time. I mean, there's several moments in Romancing the Stone where revisiting it now, where I did think, this would have been sorted out quite quickly had they had a smartphone or GPS or anything like that. But it does work. If you take it for what it is, it's an mid to late 80s action adventure comedy hybrid movie, of which there are many. What year was it? Was it 84? I think it was 84. Yes, 84. God, that was a good year for films. If you take it as read, as it's just a nice caper-esque 80s action comedy, you will not be disappointed. If it's something you saw previously in years gone by, it holds up really, really well and does pay for the rewatching. So as I say, the chemistry between the two lead characters is great, and it's fantastic to see Danny DeVito firing on all cylinders. Not quite at the heights of his like Penguin or Twins era, but definitely a high point in that part of Danny DeVito's career, and I really, really enjoyed revisiting it. Romancing the Stone, absolutely fantastic. I will be covering the sequel, Jewel of the Nile, in the next video. For now, this is my review of Romancing the Stone. This is Planet Hex Review Time. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and I will be covering lots more reviews to come in the week, and there's a full-length episode of Planet Hex each weekend. Thank you very much for joining me in this episode of Planet Hex Review Time.